Welcome to the United Stand. A bit of a bonus transfer news story for you this morning. Harry Maguire and a £70 million bid from Manchester United. This is coming from Sky Sports News. More importantly, it's coming from @SkyCave on Twitter, who actually this summer has been very, well, I wouldn't say very, but somewhat accurate. He was Daniel James was the player that I noticed that he spoke about. Sean Longstaff was a player that he spoke about, and also what's his face, Wan-Bissaka. So you've got to take notice when somebody comes out with that, and certainly we will do this morning. So this is about an hour ago, 10 a.m. this morning. Sky Sports understands that Manchester United have upped their bid to £70 million for Harry Maguire, Leicester centre-back. And of course the divide boosts this Tuesday morning because lots of United fans wouldn't mind Harry Maguire. Lots of United fans don't want Harry Maguire. The reality is Manchester City are currently in for him. I think we can all agree with that. And Manchester United are probably in for him as well. With regards to that Sky Sports story, they say that there is no desire to leave from Harry Maguire, although he is intrigued by playing for a top six club. He's not going to force a move. These talks have been going on for weeks, and that Leicester are not in a position where they have to sell. So it could well be that even with regards to Harry Maguire and the bid, it could be a very, very difficult deal to do when the player's not necessarily forcing a move. The club don't need to sell, and there is a rival going in there that could boost the price. What's Harry Maguire's worth in the current transfer market? Probably around £60 million. But he's English. Leicester don't need to sell. There's probably competition from Manchester City, and United do need a centre-back, so that will push it up. So whether you agree £70 million is right or not, I certainly think that is probably going to be around the price that we would get him for. Of course, it dispels the rumour that United have only got £100 million to spend, because even with Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire, that would be over £100 million. As I've always said, I think United will do it. Lachlan Oberg says, do you think we actually will sign him? I think for Manchester United, he is a player that United are certainly interested in. I mean, what I would say is somebody said yesterday, we've got Twansibi back. People, maybe if he has a good season, maybe we'll be all right with Smalling and Jones and Lindelof and Bailly and Twansibi. And I'm like, you know what? A summer off has really made you forget the problems with last season. A summer off and a centre-back with potential, a young centre-back with potential like Twansibi, does not solve the problems of the last few years with our centre-backs. Mourinho wanted a centre-back last season. We didn't get one. We're going to go into another season making do. We need a centre-back. Mourinho's one of the best defensive coaches there's ever been, and he wanted a centre-back. And we still haven't got a centre-back, and we haven't got one this summer. So Manchester United need a centre-back. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it, and we've got to get one. And regardless of whether Twansibi gets promoted or not, he's a championship young centre-back who's never played in the Premier League. You can't go with that and say that that's going to be fine. We do need to sign a centre-back. Is Harry Maguire the solution to that? He's definitely better than everything we've got. And I say that with a straight face. He's better than what we've got, because he fulfills the issues that we have. If you've ever watched Harry Maguire play, and there's a very good point from Brandon Coombs there that says Phelan worked with Harry Maguire at Hull, and I rate him. Well, I personally rate him. Remember, we were linked to him after the World Cup last season, and I said I would take him. We were getting to that point in the transfer window where Harry Maguire was a good option for us. And I know people just aren't sure about him, but if you've watched Harry Maguire play, and not just for England, he scored important goals for Leicester. He doesn't make many mistakes. He's dominant in the air, whether it's in our penalty box or in the opposition's penalty box for corners or set pieces. He's very good in the air. United have not had that for a very long time. Probably not really since the days of Vidic. And it will make a massive improvement to how we defend crosses and how we attack crosses. So that, to me, Harry Maguire is brilliant at that. I mean, in fact, Harry Maguire is probably one of the top 10 centre-backs in the world at winning balls in the air. Maybe even higher, but let's be conservative and say 10. He brings that. He can play the left side of centre-back, which would put Lindelof to the right, although Lindelof can do it as well. He's good at bringing the ball out from the back. He does lack a bit of pace, but he's very powerful. He reads the game well, and he doesn't make many mistakes. And also, he's authoritative. He's not quiet. He's a bit of a leader at the back as well. So he ticks a lot of boxes for United. And I think the issue people have with Harry Maguire is they want somebody better. They want somebody a little bit more glamorous. And the issue with that is he's 26 years of age, captain. That's what it says on the screen, isn't it? So 26 years of age. Look, He's a 3-star player there. With that star rating on the screen to my left, that goes up to 5. If Manchester United signed a Bruno Fernandez, I'd put him as a 4-star rating. If you bought Koulibaly, bringing it back to centre-backs, he's probably a 4 or 5-star rating. Harry Maguire is a 3-star rating player. I put my hands up and say that. I'm not going to say Harry Maguire is one of the best centre-backs in the world. He's not. But he's better than what we've got. And if it's Harry Maguire or nobody, we've got to do that deal because we need a centre-back. We can't walk out of this transfer window like Mourinho had to walk out of it last year with no centre-back. This is a glaring issue at Manchester United. We need to sign a centre-back. And for everybody who says Ruben Diaz, I quite like Ruben Diaz at Benfica. But he's a big risk. He's never played in the Premier League and he might be a flop. You know, some signings flop. So there's risks with Ruben Diaz. Koulibaly's the ideal, but Napoli keep saying they're not going to sell him. And Koulibaly may be going, look, I want to move, but maybe he's going to go back to Napoli and he doesn't. And maybe Napoli wouldn't sell him anyway. De Ligt is going to go to Juventus. Skriniar will not leave Inter. Varane, well, people talk about Varane, that was never on for me, but he ain't going to leave Madrid either. So where is this top-class centre-back that we're going to get, that we need? Now, whether Harry Maguire's top-class or not, I don't know. I think he's a very, very good centre-back and I think he would surprise a lot of people. And also, I think if he came to Manchester United, what you would get is dedication, professionalism and a determination to prove himself at the very, very top level of the Premier League. And Manchester United need a centre-back like that. And at 26, he's going to give you 4 or 5 years as well. And look, he's not Koulibaly, he's not De Ligt. I can just about agree with that. But he could be. He could be. And I think it's a signing that if we did it, yeah, it's not the centre-back I wanted. I'll be totally honest with that. But it's not a bad signing for Manchester United. And I think he's a good signing. And that's also why somebody like Pep Guardiola is looking at him. Kamel says, any reliable reports on a bid for Dani Olmo? I've not even read about that, mate, to be honest with you. I've just been working on a couple of other things. Issa Diop is a story from L'Equipe in France to say that United are going to look at him. I mean, look, you know what? If people want Issa Diop over Harry Maguire, I can get it because he's a little bit younger, he's a bit quicker. There are similarities there, but you know, you could almost say he isn't as good as Harry Maguire. So it swings and roundabouts with that. But I if we get him, we get him. The more important thing for me is that Manchester United do need to go and sign a centre-back. So that would be a massive, massive bonus as far as I'm concerned. And we all know that we do need a centre-back. So a little bit of a recap on the Harry Maguire news. £70 million bid. Manchester United have apparently upped their bid for Harry Maguire. These talks have been going on for a while, according to Sky Sports, and they've upped their bid to £70 million. Whether that's going to be enough to make Leicester City want to take a deal like that, I don't know. Whether it's going to be enough for Harry Maguire to sort of say he wants to go, I don't know. There's talk that Harry Maguire's not going to force a move. There's talk that Leicester don't need to do this deal. I mean, the interesting thing is a lot of people talk about Yuri Tillemans. Well, Leicester want to sign Yuri Tillemans. Manchester United could sign Yuri Tillemans and take him away from Leicester. There might be some bargaining tool there where we go, well, we won't move for Tillemans if you let us have Harry Maguire. Some people would say that's a big mistake. Screw that, get Ruben Diaz and get Tillemans and leave Leicester alone. But others, I suspect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would rather leave Tillemans to Leicester and get Harry Maguire. So, Maguire or Koulibaly, says Lachlan Oberg. I mean, it's simple, absolutely simple. It's Harry Maguire. It's Koulibaly every step of the way. Please do smash a like on the video, everybody. Remember, this is a bonus video this morning. Breaking news that Harry Maguire and Manchester United have made a £70 million bid for Harry Maguire. We have got the Transfer Daily. If you click the eye in the top right-hand corner, Transfer Daily's only been up a couple of hours. We're talking about Jadon Sancho, a big update on Ziyech, Lozano and a few others, so you can go and watch that straight after this if you want to. I don't want Daniel James as our new right winger, Adam Tate. No, I don't think there's any. I think that's a big mistake to put Daniel James as a starting right winger in a Manchester United side. He's a left winger from the Championship, and he needs to be given time to bed in. I don't agree with that at all. But it doesn't mean it won't happen. There are some other stories I do need to bring you up to date with. There was a story last night from James Ducker in the Telegraph, who's normally, quite good in relation to Manchester United news. He was saying that with regards to Longstaff, Manchester United are going to try and get that one deal done before we go on tour. He did mention interest in Bruno Fernandez, and discussions with Paul Pogba, but United are ready to escalate the transfer of Sean Longstaff. It leaves me a bit baffled. it does leave me a little bit baffled. As Drawty said, are we Brexit FC then? We're just going for all English players because Harry Maguire's another English player. Daniel James, British. English for Wan-Bissaka, English for Sean Longstaff. I'm confused. If we go and sign Sean Longstaff this week, welcome to the club. You look like Scott McTominay's BTEC brother, but maybe you're better than him. Great, come into the club. If you're well scouted, you're very welcome. I hope you become a good player. I actually think you might well become a good player. But I'm not going to be enthused by it because it's yet another up-and-coming young player that's not going to go straight into the team. I don't expect Daniel James to go straight into the team. I expect Wan-Bissaka to go straight in the team. But Daniel James and Longstaff, they're players for the future. Our present's terrible. Like, the last couple of months of the season were terrible. Where are the players to replace the ruthlessness that we mentioned at the end of last season? Well, Solskjaer mentioned ruthlessness. Where are these players coming in to replace the crap from last year? Because Longstaff and James, they're clearly going to be growers over the season. They're clearly going to be bench players. They're not coming into the first team. So where's the ruthless signings that are coming in to replace the crap from last year? Why would you go for Longstaff instead of the priority midfielder? Like, what's going on there? So it's the order of events that confused me a little bit. There was also talk that United are doing one deal at a time. I don't understand why Sean Longstaff can't wait till the end of the month. Why are we not doing the priority signings? Or are we not going to do priority signings? I don't know. Which is why I'm encouraged by this Harry Maguire story today, because he actually is a priority signing. Well, the position's a priority signing. I know some people don't want Harry Maguire, but the centre-back position is definitely a priority signing for Manchester United. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Ben Yedder, look, a lot of talk about Ben Yedder, but I don't see Ben Yedder coming to United anytime soon. I don't actually believe Ben Yedder will come to United. It's a personal thing. I do like him. I think he's a good player. I think he's very exciting. I just don't believe that deal. I don't. And I won't believe it till he's holding up the shirt. I think some of us are like that. But Ben Yedder's not a deal we're going to be working on this week. It's, Lukaku's still at the club. I mean, as we said 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks ago, the weeks are passing by and Darmian's still at the club. Rojo's still at the club. Lukaku's still here. De Gea's still here. Pogba's still here. Are they going? Are they all going? Are some of them going? Are we just going to keep the deadwood? I don't know. And the players that are coming in the door, like, when are we going to work on these deals? Wan-Bissaka's a brilliant signing, but that basically took up June. And now we're into July. What's occurring? What's occurring? It's obvious we're trying to buy better players, so why ain't we selling the deadwood, says Stephen Lee. Just got here, Mark. Do you mind updating the please, mate, says Popule. Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious. There's been a £70 million bid for Harry Maguire, according to Sky Sports. This came out about an hour ago. Why can't we pay some more and target Koulibaly, or does he want Champions League football? Whereas Maguire settles for any top six. I think Harry Maguire would settle for top six because it's an improvement on Leicester City. I think that Koulibaly, I think it's more to do with the fact that he might want Champions League football. That could be a consideration, but I think he's also Napoli don't want to sell him, do they? Broadmo's, look, there is a story out there that Bruno Fernandez has agreed terms with Manchester United, but it's not from a very reliable source, to be honest with you. So it's not something I would jump on at this stage. As you know, on this channel, I've been speaking a long time. I do think United will sign Bruno Fernandez. I just have these concerns as to why we're not doing it. Why would you move for Sean Longstaff before Bruno Fernandez? It's idiocy. Because on every level, it's idiocy if it happens. Because he's young, he's not going to be a first teamer. Bruno Fernandez is going to be a first teamer. So surely you get that deal first to get him over training, to get him embedded in the team. Why would you go for Longstaff before your main midfielder? It doesn't make any sense. But, what does make sense with United, really? Maguire, is this true? Says Still Shining TV. It's from Sky Sports. It came out an hour ago. Manchester United bid £70 million for Harry Maguire. What they are saying is it might not be enough, that Leicester don't necessarily need to sell, and talks have been going on for a long time, so it may not be a deal that gets done anytime soon, if at all, but they are reporting that we have upped the bid. And I would say about Harry Maguire, I think the thing that would injure me about him is the fact that he is so good in the air, and I think we've missed that for so long, and I think people don't realise how important it is. When we had Vidic, he won everything in the air, and that makes us harder to score against. And it makes us more of a threat in the penalty box. We're crap at corners, and we've been crap at corners for years, and we are quite vulnerable from crosses. So you bring a player like that in, and that improves you straight away. It's like Wan-Bissaka improves us straight away because Ashley Young's been our right back. So these are improved. We've got to improve. Of course, it's going to be a steady process, and of course, patience is essential. But if we're improving in the areas that we need to improve, then that can only be a positive. If we sign him, we have far too many defenders. If Leicester wants some money on top of this, we would look to offload some players as part of the deal. £70 million plus Phil Jones, says Tommy Hill. I don't think Brendan Rodgers is that stupid. Napoli have bought Manolas. I mentioned that this morning on the Transfer Daily, Money Munchers. I don't think it necessarily means it's a Koulibaly replacement. But you know what could happen with Koulibaly? We could sign Harry Maguire and Man City could get Koulibaly. That could happen. So, look, I want United to sign Koulibaly. I think United want Koulibaly. But if they're moving for Harry Maguire, then maybe they don't realise, maybe they don't think they can do it. Simple as that, isn't it? Anyway, I'm not going to keep this video going for ages and ages. It is an update. It is a breaking news story. It is that Manchester United have bid £70 million for Harry Maguire. Get your thoughts in the comments below, because I think the comments are going to be very interesting, whether you're visiting live or you're not watching live. Read the comments, because some people were happy with it, some people are okay with it, some people are really against it. But as I said at the start of the video, he is dominant in the air. He doesn't make many mistakes. He can bring the ball out from the back. They're the three key things that we need from a centre-back. That's what we desperately need. Yes, he may not be the world-class centre-back, but if you can't get the world-class centre-back, the question is, would you take Harry Maguire or nobody? And I can't understand why people wouldn't take Harry Maguire over nobody, because he's definitely better than everything that we've got. Lachlan Oberg, if Man City put a bigger bid in than us, would we try and outbid them or go get another centre-back? I wouldn't go. It's a very good question. I wouldn't be going massively higher than £70 million. I've got to be honest with you. I wouldn't go massively higher than 70 million. You don't want to get into a bidding war. He's overpriced because he's English anyway. I would be happy with about 70 million. I still think we'd get ridiculed for it, but 70 million is about right in the market today. If you start going above that, no. And I don't think Man City will. Man City won't go above that, I don't think either. Thanks everybody for watching. And I will speak to you all at 8 o'clock tonight, unless something else happens. It's exciting, isn't it? Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. We're nearly at 486,000 subscribers, so please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We could be going live at any time like we have done now. Make sure you ring your bell and get your notifications on, and I shall speak to you all later on.